you from South Wales, where thousands of spectators and many miles of stunning coastline await our runners in one of the fastest growing events in this country, the JCP Swansea Half Marathon. Last year, this event was voted the best half marathon in the UK, and we're about to find out why, as 7,000 competitors take on the 5th running of this race. Swansea's a sporting city that has really taken this race to its heart, with 50% of the field from the local area. But with visitors from over 50 countries too, they can expect an unforgettable Welsh welcome. Many race organisers like to call their courses fast and flat. On today's route, it's a claim that's undoubtedly true. Wales is a land of hills and valleys, but this scenic seaside course is built for speed. With PBs in mind, many runners will be here to take advantage. Let's join your commentator, Patrick Winterton.
Swansea, of course, a coastal city with a rich seafaring history, but gone are the days of square sails. It's now yachts and motorboats. And despite massive regeneration, there are still areas and structures that remain the same as many years ago. It is a city, however, that's realised the benefit of hosting major events, and today's is as big as any. Over 7,000 runners have signed up for the Swansea Half Marathon, and it starts with a loop of the city before heading out along the coast. At the turn at Mumbles, they'll be guided back to the centre by the tallest building in Wales, the Meridian Tower, through the marina and over the River Tawe, courtesy of the sail bridge. The conditions perfect for all those PB hunters, although the heat will be intense. Tracy Barlow, she's got a PB of 72.48. A repeat of that could well see her taking the top prize today. Lisa Brettel is one of many thousands running to raise money.
So I found the biggest banner down here. Go, Lisa. You're obviously Lisa. Tell me about why you have this and why you're taking part in the Swansea Half today.
Well, about a year or two ago, my grandmother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and it just got me thinking about what I can do to support Alzheimer's Society. It's a cause really close to my heart. And I've never run before, ever. And somehow I got talked into signing up for a half marathon. So last year I couldn't run a mile. Here I am trying to do 13.1. I'm terrified, I'm shaking, but I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Lisa, 13.1 miles. I'm sure you're going to be amazing. You're the perfect weather for it. But what is your plan out there as well?
Take it slow, pace myself, and then if I feel pain in my legs, I'm going to distract myself with that beautiful view. That's my plan.
There's nothing quite like a first-time experience. Good luck to her.
When I first started, like just running a mile seemed like, you know, impossible. And now I'm about to run 13. So that's for the first time. I've done 11 thus far. So yeah, just being able to achieve things that you never thought were possible, I think is an amazing feeling. And also in these race days, there's a huge sense of camaraderie. And I think that's just such a great thing to experience.
First half marathon, have you done loads of these kind of challenges before?
I did for Maggie's last year as well, so proud to do it again.
I love that you're smiling and you're doing a half marathon. That's great, already halfway there.
I'm not smiling behind this.
Are you guys going to stick together? What's the plan out there?
I think we've all got different times in mind, so we sort of will be together but virtually.
What you're trying to achieve today?
Just to finish it. Basically, you know, it's the first thing I've done. I'm not exactly the lightest, so it'd just be nice just to get around us all.
3 girls here looking super colourful, not really like they're about to do a half marathon, but they are. About to do the Swansea Half. Guys, why?
In need of Alzheimer's, I'm doing it for, as it's close to my heart. My grandfather had it, so yeah, hopefully raise a lot of money today for that cause.
And post-race, what's the plan? What's the celebrations going to be like later in Swansea?
Lots of gin.
It's beautiful scenery, lovely way to run, flat course, quick run. It's everything you want in a half marathon.
Guys, Swansea Half Marathon this morning. What brings you down here?
running on home turf, local boys, but living in London, working up there, so back in the home ground.
So have you got a plan in mind? What's going to happen out there for you?
For me, I'm just gonna smash it. I'm just gonna go all out and see how my body feels, and if it feels good, just keep smashing it until the finish line.
Well, one group that hope they can smash it today, 69 runners, all who have type 1 diabetes, including one member who's over the age of 80. Hopefully we'll be catching up with them later on today. So ready to go, fingers on their watches, and the elite at the front, as is always the case at these big events, and the 7,000 streaming across the start line here in Swansea. And it has not taken long for one of the favourites to work his way to the front. Matt Clowes setting the pace. He's got the company of Josh Griffiths, 25-year-old, who showed so much talent in London in 2017. And we've got Matthews there as well. Marcus England wearing bib number 7, starting to drop off this early pace already. It's a brutal start from the elite, and everyone else in the field does not need to be concerned with that. They've all got their target times. Philip Matthews tucking in behind the two favourites and running okay at the moment, but of the three, you would say his body language is saying, this is crazy. Matt Clowes setting some pace.
What are you hoping to achieve down here in Swansea today?
I always go for the win, so see what happens.
PB and a win, or PB or a win?
I mean, if everything goes to plan, then hopefully both, so.
And can you just talk us through your race tactics out there today?
It depends really. I mean, I'm sure me and Josh will go off and see what happens and just feel it out after a few miles, see how we get on.
Well, already a gap of some 50 metres between the leading group of 3. Remember, a loop of the city before they head out along the coast up towards Mumbles. And then they double back. The course a bit like a crescent moon, a new moon. Sunshine all the way today, and a little bit of congestion further back in the field, but these three have the run of the city. And now Josh Griffiths is really up the pace. This is brutal. They're in the second mile, coming up to the second mile marker. The first mile was run in under 5 minutes. They mean business today. The course record could certainly be under threat, just over 74 minutes. And that was set by Dewi Griffiths back in 2017, 1:04.48, the exact time. And at this pace, they are going to be under that. But there's still a long, long way to go. Now onto the coast road, and already Philip Matthews has dropped away. Here's the leading woman, and Tracy Barlow looking very, very smooth indeed. What an impressive runner she is. And here is her competition. We've got Natasha Cockram on the right-hand side, Claire Gibbons-McCarthy, the tallest of these three women, and then just looking at her watch, Laura Graham, who's a very established half marathon runner.
My speed has come up quite a bit, and my reps, like I've been doing a few 5k reps, and they're quite tough but enjoyable at the same time when you see the time that you're doing it in.
Can you tell us a bit about your race plan out there today as well?
I'm pretty much wanting to go and beat that 115, try and get into the 114, so trying to stick with 540s.
Well, 5:40 will give her a time of 74:15. That will take some doing in these weather conditions, but Graham looking very comfortable at the moment, if not a little flushed. And now you see the gap, the chase group of women at the back, maybe 40 metres behind Tracy Barlow, who's looking comfortable. Barlow ran this race in 2016, did a time of 1:15.02 to finish just behind Hannah Walker, the record holder. So she could get the record, she could get top spot today the way things are going.
I came here 2 years ago, really enjoyed it. So yeah, I was quite keen to get another race in before I go away and train for the Euros, and it's a good fast course. Half marathons and 10Ks really hurt because it's going out hard from the start, whereas a marathon's more pacing it and making sure that you're in control of it. Whereas I think with a half, it starts to hurt quicker.
Well, the European Championships they're talking about, most of them heading to Berlin in August for the Marathon Championships, the Half Marathon Championships in Amsterdam in a few days' time. So Barlow still leading the women's. We've got the defending champion Claire Gibbons-McCarthy in second. Laura Graham tucked in behind her in blue. And falling off that group is Natasha Cockram, who now finds herself in no man's land. And decision time for her. Claire Gibbons-McCarthy still looking light on her feet, but not having it all her own way as she did last year. No water for Gibbons-McCarthy. That's slightly surprising on a day like this, whereas Laura Graham dousing herself with water and then trying to take a little on board as well. Very, very important in these conditions. What a summer it's been in Great Britain, and I guess it will set these athletes up well for when they run in Europe later on. Tracy Barlow still looking very cool indeed. If she can beat her PB, that would be very impressive, somewhere around the 72-minute mark. Spectacular views and sensational support here in Swansea. That's become one of the features of this event, and the two race leaders will be enjoying every second of that. Matt Clowes trying to stay half a shoulder ahead of Griffiths, and he's trying to gain that psychological advantage. Certainly Clowes has the leg speed for the finish. Griffiths, he's known as the endurance man. They're almost halfway. This is where the real race starts.
Welcome back to the JCP Swansea Half Marathon. 7,000 runners are enjoying a glorious day on the Welsh seaside in this, the nation's newest major half marathon. The resort of Mumbles marks the halfway stage of this race. Let's see who's out in front with your commentator, Patrick Winterton.
How significant is this? A gap of 2-3 metres between Clowes and Griffiths. Griffiths has grabbed a couple of water bottles, half to cool the body temperature, half to take on board for later on the race. But Clowes looking very, very determined. And I think he's enjoying inflicting some pain on Griffiths. He's certainly looking good.
Yeah, it's been going really well. I sort of did a build-up for London for the last few months, and I'm kind of just riding off that. The marathon didn't go too well. It was a little too hot for me, so I'm hoping the weather's going to be a little cooler today.
Well, it is a little bit cooler than London last year, but not by much, so he's doing exceptionally well to cope. And he's opened up a 20-metre gap now over Griffiths, who's struggling a little. That fluency we saw earlier on has gone. The conditions really are beautiful. Tracy Barlow round the turn. Verdi's Cafeteria on her left now. A choice of 30 different ice creams. She's probably thinking about an ice cream milkshake. That would go down, but she's going to have to wait another 30 minutes or so before she can think of that. On her own, she had the company of 2 or 3 strong men earlier on, but she's outrun them and looking very comfortable. Totally focused. And she'll have the win on her mind, of course, but also that record set by Hannah Walker back in 2016 of 74.31. At the moment, she's well inside that. Laura Graham still going well. Her PB some 2.5 minutes slower than Tracy Barlow's. At the moment, at halfway, she's less than a minute down, so she's done well in the early stages. And the masses rounding the turn at the Mumbles, and then unusually they can see the finish from the halfway mark on this half marathon. All the way along the coast, fantastic sights and sounds of the sea. Hopefully enough distraction to take away some of the pain that they will certainly be feeling in the closing stages. Gentle breeze coming off the sea, nothing to hinder them as they head for home, but hopefully it will just bring that body temperature down. That is one of the biggest obstacles here today. Tracy Barlow still on course for a sub 74. That will keep her happy. Josh Griffiths has lost contact with Matt Clowes, who's having a tremendous run. Griffiths grabbing more than his fair share of water today, trying to keep that body temperature under control. Clowes, another check of the watch just to see what his pace is, and he wants to see if he's going to beat his PB. I'm not sure he's going to manage that, but it's going to be very, very close. Of course, the course record is there for the taking as well. That stands at 64.48. His PB 64.38, and it looks as though he's going to split the two. He does. 64.43. What a fabulous run from Matt Clowes. Josh Griffiths well beaten on the day. A course record for Clowes.
We set off at a nice pace, me and Josh, and I tried to push on at 5 miles. It was quite hard to push too hard because of the temperature, because if you push too much over that line, it's really hard to kind of come out of it. So it was just kind of staying on that line and not going over it too much. When I went, I just broke straight away. I didn't mess around, I just pushed on and then just increased the gap. So it's really good.
Fairly conservative start, and then we were together until about 5 miles, and then Matt kicked on and ran really well to finish first, and then yeah, I was happy with second place in the end.
It was nice to get on the podium. I've raced here twice before and had 2 fourths, so even though I got hammered really, it was nice to come third and get on the podium.
Well done to Philip Matthews, and well done to Tracy Barlow. 73.50, a new course record for her as well.
I found it a bit tough because I'm back in marathon training, so I found it my legs are quite heavy, but it's a great day for it, beautiful weather, so yeah, I can't complain.
Second place to Laura Graham.
The course was brilliant. The course definitely was a PB, maybe not in the heat, but it was enjoyable. I'll have to get used to the heat.
And Gladys Gagniel, also from Ireland, taking third place at the age of 41.
Well, I suppose the overwhelming thing was the conditions. You know, it's hot, a bit hotter than we're used to in Belfast, but that's perfect preparation for the European Championships in Berlin, where it's going to be a lot hotter than this, so you want to get stuck in there and give yourself a run out in the heat.
And the support on the course, what was that like?
That was great. People were out there, they were enjoying themselves far too much with their cold drinks and ice creams, you know, but the cheers were helpful.
The spectators, they help you out there on the course?
Yeah, they're great, and with the sunshine like it is and everyone's coming down to the beach, etc., it's a lovely setting. You've got the bands out there, you've got people in cafes cheering you on. It's hard when you go past the cafe because you just want to have a drink yourself, but I can go home and do that now, so that's great.
Mate, how's it going for you out there?
I'm just looking at that 1 more mile to go, which is keeping us going. It's been rather hot out here today.
How is it then when there's 3 of you working together? Does it really help you?
I think so. We hold each other up, and yeah, we do definitely get each other through.
She thinks so, she said. Over here, how is it running with your friends?
Absolutely amazing. Running together, finishing together, making sure everybody enjoys themselves.
What's the community like in the race? Because people...
Fantastic. We're running with 2 20 pacer behind us, and everybody is motivating everybody else. So it's really good. It's a magnificent event. There's fantastic support down into the Mumbles. Awesome support down there, and everyone around is always somebody just to give you that G up. So it's really good.
Awesome. Last mile. Go for it. Well done. Half a mile to go. Have you got a bit of a sprint finish in you?
Hopefully.
Yes. How's the race been going for you?
Can we have the finish now?
It's 500 metres, that's all you've got. So when you hear that, what does it conjure up in your head?
A massive achievement.
Choosing to run a half marathon on your 50th birthday, awesome.
Yes, it's actually on my birthday, so I thought, why not? It's on my list. So it's another one ticked off.
Happy birthday and good luck for the rest of it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that's a fantastic effort, but 30 birthdays ahead of Karen is Anthony Fisher. Now, he started running on VE Day, and since then he's notched up quite a few half marathons and marathons with a sub-3 hour, his PB. Now, he's one of the 69 type 1 diabetics taking part here today. And at 80, he uses a continuous glucose monitor to help keep track of his levels. And the alarm's actually going off at the moment, but he knows exactly how to monitor the situation. What a fantastic effort from him.
Anthony, we found you. We've been looking for you. We can carry on going. We can carry on walking. Do you want to carry on walking?
I'd have the rest.
Okay, well, have a rest then. How are you feeling at 200 metres left to go?
I'm feeling completely shot. I was okay for 8 miles, and then my lack of training, I think, kicked in. So I'm on for a really spectacular PW, personal worst.
Personal worst, whatever, personal best. You are doing your first race in 9 years. Just tell us through the emotions that you've gone through today here in Swansea.
I'm not sort of getting emotional. I'm not thinking, this is wonderful, aren't I brilliant? I'm thinking, I've got to just keep this pace, even effort. You know, just as a reasonable, decent runner that I used to be, but no longer, sadly.
Well, I'll leave you to get on with your PW. You're on for your PW. Good luck, Anthony.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Well, it's been a great effort from Anthony. He's moving at a better pace than most people half his age, and probably travelling quite a lot faster than many people a quarter of his age. 80 years old. Wonderful.
All the experience I've got over the last 40 years helped me for the first 8 miles. I don't know, my legs just sort of gave out at about 10, and then I got a lot of sugar on board and finished quite well.
As are many thousands of athletes finishing here today. Big smiles as they approach the end.
The crowd cheering us on, there's a brilliant crowd out there, so it's great.
The atmosphere is amazing.
She wanted to go under 2, she went under 2.
It's definitely down on Facebook events for next year.
Swansea Half Marathon is up there with all the top races I've ever been competing in.
Just when you feel a bit low, all the locals come out and cheer you on, so it's awesome, yeah, amazing event.
The crowds that cheer you on, the marshals, just the amazing support that just keeps you going, your fellow runners, it's just brilliant.
And Lisa into the finish, one of many first-timers running here today. Will she have caught the bug?
Before this race, I said this would be my one and only, but you know what? It's been difficult but fun. So I think, yeah, I'll definitely be back and try and beat my time. The scenery was just beautiful. So that combined with the cause that I'm running for and the money I know I've raised for charity, it's just been brilliant.
Fulfilling day all round for so many.
Well, I may feel like I've run most of the route today, but for those people who have actually completed all 13.1 miles, it's time to refuel, reminisce, and maybe think about rebooking again for 2019. Bye for now.